Almost all car owners have WD-40, but 90% of them do not use WD-40 to its full potential. And here's the shocker. Mechanics gatekeep these secrets that can save you $3,000 in car repairs. Today, we'll reveal 17 WD-40 tricks that save you serious money. Don't skip. Number 3 could save you from a multi-thousand-dollar repair. Let's begin with trick 17. Trick number 17. Clear foggy headlights. Faded, cloudy headlights aren't just ugly, they're killers in disguise. AAA testing proved that aged, yellowed lenses sometimes let through only 20% of the light a new set does. Imagine driving at 60 miles per hour with 80% of your vision gone. That's the difference between stopping safely or plowing into a deer you never saw until impact. Here's the brutal truth. Foggy headlights aren't dirt. They're microscopic cracks and oxidation baked into the plastic. Soap won't touch it. Scrubbing only makes it worse. But here's the kicker. A single wipe of WD-40 fills those tiny fractures, bending light straighter, so more of it actually hits the road. It's not cleaning. It's hacking the physics of light in your favor. Drivers use this before inspections or night trips, and the results are instant. One Redditor joked, "Shiny again, but I'm back at it in 2 weeks." And that's the catch. It works, but it's temporary. Still, even 2 weeks of full vision can be the difference between life and death on a dark highway. The smart play. Treat WD-40 as your emergency lifeline. Then follow up with a proper restoration kit. For $25, you sand away the oxidation, seal the lens with a UV clear coat, and stop the haze from coming back. Compare that to $400 to $1,200 for replacement assemblies, and the math speaks for itself. So, yes, a $6 can buy you back your vision tonight. Trick number 16. Clean leather and vinyl seats. Dirt grinds into your leather seats, and that rich surface starts looking dull, cracked, and just plain tired. Most people reach for expensive conditioners or harsh cleaners that strip the finish even further. Here's what the pros actually use. First, spray a small amount of WD-40 onto a clean microfiber cloth, never directly onto the seat, and wipe along the natural grain of the material. The formula lifts embedded grime, dissolves surface oils, and softens the leather without soaking through it. You'll see the dirt transfer onto the cloth almost immediately. Follow up with a dry wipe, and the seat surface will look darker, cleaner, and noticeably more supple. It conditions as it cleans, helping the material flex instead of crack. Run it along your door panel inserts and center console trim while you're at it because those surfaces collect the same oils and respond just as well. Cracked leather is almost impossible to fully restore once it gets bad enough. So, keeping it supple now saves you from an expensive reupholstery job down the road. One pass and your seats look years younger without spending a cent on a detailing appointment. Trick number 15. Clean a gunked-up gas cap. Your gas cap looks dirty and hasn't been cleaned in years. Here's the fix. Spray WD-40 generously around the threads, the underside of the cap, and the sealing ring. Let it sit for a minute to cut through the buildup. Then, wipe it down with a clean microfiber cloth. The formula dissolves hardened grime, lubricates the threads, and restores a clean seal that snaps tight every time. Apply a light follow-up coat before screwing it back on, and your cap will turn smooth, seal properly, and stay clean for months. Do this every few months as part of your regular maintenance routine, and you'll likely never see a fuel-related check engine code again. Most people spend hundreds chasing that check engine light through diagnostics when the fix was sitting in their garage the whole time. It's the kind of 2-minute job that keeps a check engine light from ruining your morning. Trick number 14. The throttle body cleaner. Your throttle body regulates how much air flows into your engine, and when it gets dirty, your car starts misbehaving. You might experience rough idling, sluggish acceleration, or lower fuel efficiency. Most repair shops will charge anywhere from $150 to $300 to clean the throttle body, insisting it needs special tools and solutions. But here's what your mechanic won't tell you. You can easily clean it yourself using WD-40. Find your throttle body. It's typically a circular part attached to the air intake. Detach the intake tube and spray WD-40 directly onto the throttle plate and nearby surfaces. Then grab an old toothbrush to scrub off the carbon buildup. Wipe everything down with a clean rag afterwards. This quick 15-minute fix can revive your engine's performance and help boost fuel economy. Over time, carbon buildup restricts airflow, forcing your engine to work harder and burn more fuel. A clean throttle body means smoother performance and fewer fuel stops at the gas station. Trick number 13. Remove water spots from side mirrors. There are cloudy white spots clinging to your side mirrors like they've been baked on. Mineral deposits from rain and tap water bond to the glass surface, leaving behind a haze that distorts your reflection and makes your mirrors look permanently dirty. Here's what actually works. Spray a light mist of WD-40 directly onto the mirror glass and let it sit for about 30 seconds. Then buff it gently with a clean microfiber cloth in circular motions. Watch those mineral deposits lift cleanly off the surface, leaving glass that's clear, streak-free, and glare-resistant. The formula breaks down the mineral bonds without damaging the mirror coating, and it leaves behind a thin, water-repelling layer that causes rain to bead right off. Make it a habit after every car wash, and your mirrors will stay clearer between cleans far longer than you'd expect. A clear side mirror isn't just about looks, it's about seeing the car in the next lane before it's too late. Detailers use this before handing back cars after a full detail. And now you'll never squint into a cloudy mirror again. Trick number 12. Protect door seals year-round. That awful ripping sound when you yank a frozen car door, that's your weather stripping giving up. Once the rubber starts sticking, the chain reaction begins. Water leaks into the carpet, mildew creeps in, and the electronics hidden under your seats slowly corrode. One soaked control module can run $700, and a full set of seals can push $800. Here's the detail most people miss. Most seals are made of EPDM rubber. It's tough against ozone and heat, but it absolutely hates petroleum oils. Spray them with the wrong product and they swell, crack, or rot. What they love is silicone. That's why WD-40 Specialist Silicone Spray is the right move. It lays down a hydrophobic shield that repels water, stops freezing, and keeps the rubber supple for years. Application is quick. Clean the door jambs, spray silicone onto a cloth, and wipe every seal, doors, trunk, even the sunroof perimeter. Do it twice a year, ideally before summer heat, and before winter freeze. The film prevents sticking, blocks UV damage, and keeps doors sealing tight. The math is simple. A $10 can now versus hundreds in water-damaged wiring, mold cleanup, or frozen mornings where you break the handle trying to force the door. 4 pennies per seal, you're locking in comfort, dryness, and longevity. Trick number 11. The brake squeal prevention. Ever had brakes that scream louder than a horror movie? That high-pitched squeal isn't just annoying, it's downright embarrassing. Most drivers instantly assume they need brand new brake pads, which can set you back anywhere from $200 to $500, depending on your vehicle. But squealing brakes often aren't caused by worn pads at all. The real culprits are vibration and slight corrosion in the brake hardware. WD-40 can help loosen and clean components like caliper pins, pad clips, and slides when they're rusty or stuck. Once they're clean, make sure to apply proper high-temperature brake grease on those contact points. And remember, never ever spray WD-40 directly on the brake pad friction material or rotors. This trick is about lubricating the mechanical parts, not coating the braking surfaces. This method can silence brake noise and extend the lifespan of your braking system by reducing wear caused by corrosion and vibration. But always have your brakes inspected. Trick number 10. Clean and shine dashboard plastics. A dusty dashboard can make even a clean car look tired. Over time, sunlight, heat, and skin oils cause plastics to fade, crack, and attract dust like a magnet. Many drivers reach for harsh cleaners that leave a greasy shine or a strong chemical smell. But there's a smarter, faster way. Spray a small amount of WD-40 onto a microfiber cloth. Never directly on the dash. Wipe across the dashboard, door panels, and center console in gentle strokes. It cuts through grime, fingerprints, and old protectant buildup in seconds. The result, a smooth satin finish that looks fresh without feeling slippery. Plus, it leaves behind a thin anti-static layer that helps repel dust for weeks. For textured areas or vents, use a soft brush or cotton swab to lift dirt from tight spots before wiping clean. If you love quick fixes like this, hit the like button, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more easy car care tips that actually work. Trick number 9. Free a stuck spare tire. Imagine this. You blow a tire on the highway, crawl under your truck, crank the hoist, and nothing moves. The spare is welded in place by rust. Suddenly, a simple flat turns into a tow bill and hours of waiting. What most drivers don't realize is that free ride for your spare isn't free at all. It's a cable hoist with a tiny latch that seizes constantly. Here's the surprising fix. Brute force won't save you, but WD-40 will. A good soak with a straw nozzle aimed at the hoist drum and latch button lets the penetrant creep into the corrosion, dissolve the bond, and free the mechanism. GM truck forums are packed with stories. Jack the tire up slightly to unload the latch, spray, tap the plate, and boom, the spare drops like new. The cost difference is brutal. Cut the cable and you're paying $150 to $200 for a new hoist. Call a tow and you're looking at $125 or more just to get dragged to a shop. But spend 10 minutes and a few cents of spray once or twice a year and you avoid the whole nightmare. Here's the kicker. You're not just freeing the latch. You're making sure your spare is actually usable when disaster strikes. Check its pressure, keep the hoist moving, and you've turned a hidden roadside trap into one of the cheapest insurance policies you'll ever buy. Trick number 8. Lubricate window tracks. When your power windows start dragging or squeaking, it's easy to blame the motor. But in most cases, the real problem is right in the tracks. Dirt, dust, and dried-up grease build up inside those narrow rubber channels, forcing the glass to fight its way up. That strain doesn't just sound bad. It burns out window motors over time. Here's the fix. Roll the window all the way down and spray a light coat of WD-40 along the inner tracks, just enough to loosen grime, not soak the rubber. Then roll the window up and down a few times to spread it evenly. The movement will feel smoother instantly. For long-term care, finish with a silicone spray to keep the rubber soft and prevent future sticking. Do this every few months, especially if you live in a dusty or rainy area. It's a 2-minute habit that keeps your windows gliding like new. Trick number 7. Clean and restore your tires. Your tires have that dull brownish film that no amount of water seems to wash away. Brake dust, road tar, and built-up rubber oxidation leave the sidewall looking flat and neglected, even when the rest of the car is spotless. Here's the move. Spray WD-40 directly onto the tire sidewall and work it in with an old cloth or detailing brush. The formula cuts through oxidation and road tar in seconds, lifting that brown layer and revealing the deep black rubber underneath. Wipe off the excess and the difference is instant. Your tires will look darker, cleaner, and freshly detailed. It also creates a protective barrier that slows down the browning process so your tires stay blacker between washes. A quick pass before a car show, a road trip, or even just a weekend drive makes the whole vehicle look like it just rolled off the lot. People underestimate how much a set of clean black tires changes the entire presence of a car on the road. Clean tires make the whole car look $1,000 sharper. Trick number 6. The Hood Hinge Hero. A hood that creaks, sticks, or feels heavy when you lift it isn't just irritating. It's a warning sign that the hinges are wearing down. If ignored, those hinges can eventually fail or snap, turning into a costly and potentially dangerous problem. The fix couldn't be simpler. Just spray WD-40 directly on all the hinge joints and pivot points. Then raise and lower the hood several times to spread the lubricant evenly. Don't forget the hood struts, the gas springs that keep your hood open. Give their mounting points and pivots a light spray, too. This 5-minute maintenance step can add years to your hood hardware's life. Properly greased hinges operate smoothly and resist premature wear, saving you anywhere from $200 to $400 in repairs later. Trick number 5. Clean a hazy windshield. Your windshield has a smeared, oily haze that makes every oncoming headlight bloom into a blinding starburst. It's not just annoying at night. It's genuinely dangerous. That film is a combination of road exhaust, silicone vapors from your dashboard, and residue that water alone never fully removes. Here's the fix. Spray a light coat of WD-40 onto the windshield and spread it evenly with a microfiber cloth. Give it 30 seconds. Then wipe it completely off with a clean, dry cloth. What comes off the glass will surprise you. Brown, filmy residue that's been building up for months. The surface underneath will be clear, smooth, and hydrophobic, causing rain to sheet straight off instead of smearing. Pair it with a quick wiper blade wipe down while you're at it, and your visibility in the next rainstorm will feel like a completely different car. Most drivers wash the outside of their windshield and never think that WD-40 can be used to clean it properly. Mechanics and detailers know this trick. Now you do too. Trick number 4. Remove crayon, gum, or sticky residue inside. Nothing tests your patience like finding gum mashed into the carpet or melted crayon on the seat. Kids, snacks, and summer heat are the perfect recipe for a sticky mess that seems impossible to clean. Scraping only spreads it around, and most cleaners barely make a dent. Here's how to handle it like a pro. Spray a small amount of WD-40 directly on the affected spot and let it sit for about a minute. The formula breaks down waxes, sugars, and adhesives at the base. Then use a plastic scraper or a soft cloth to lift the residue gently. For fabric seats or carpets, blot. Don't rub to avoid pushing it deeper. Once it's gone, wipe the area with a damp cloth and mild soap to remove any leftover film. It works like magic on vinyl, leather, or upholstery without leaving damage or discoloration. Trick number 3. Melt road tar instantly. You step back after washing your car and spot those black specks on the rocker panels. They're not dirt, they're tar. Liquid asphalt that sprayed up, hardened in the sun, and baked itself into your clear coat like concrete. Left alone, it traps salt and grime against seams until rust creeps in from underneath. By the time you notice bubbling paint, you're staring at a $1,000 repaint per panel, or worse, a multi-$1,000 rust repair. Here's where WD-40 pulls off a quiet miracle. Its petroleum solvents are designed to creep, sliding into the microscopic gap between tar and paint. Instead of scrubbing and scratching, you let the chemistry do the work. The tar softens, the bond breaks, and suddenly that impossible stain wipes away like it was never there. The method is foolproof. Rinse the panel to remove grit. Spray WD-40 directly on the tar spots and let it dwell for a minute or two. Then wipe with a microfiber cloth, rinse again, and finish with a wash. Just don't forget the final step. Reapply wax or sealant because the same solvents that dissolve tar can also strip your protective coating. The beauty is the money saved. Instead of ignoring it until corrosion eats through your rockers, you're spending a few cents of spray to avoid four-figure bodywork. Tar removal detail, $275. Repaint, $1,200. Rust repair, don't even ask. WD-40 turns all of that into a 5-minute fix in your driveway. Trick number 2. Condition wiper blades. Hit the wipers and instead of a clean sweep, you get streaks, squeaks, and chatter. That's not just annoying, it's dangerous when rain or glare hits. Over time, heat, UV rays, and dirt dry out the rubber, making it stiff and uneven. Most people replace their blades right away, but you can often bring them back to life in seconds. Here's how. Lift the wipers off the windshield and clean them first with a damp cloth to remove dirt and grit. Then spray a bit of WD-40 onto a soft cloth and wipe it along the rubber edge from end to end. The formula reconditions the blade, restores flexibility, and removes the oily film that causes streaks. Once you're done, wipe the windshield clean to remove any residue. You'll notice quieter, smoother sweeps right away. Do this every few weeks, especially in hot or cold weather, to keep your wipers lasting longer and working like new. Trick number 1. Protect your battery terminals. That slow dragging crank, headlights flickering like a haunted house, or the dreaded click, silence when you turn the key. Most people assume the starter just died or the alternator gave up. But 9 times out of 10, it's something far dumber and far cheaper. Corroded battery terminals. AAA says this single issue sparks millions of roadside calls every year. Germany's ADAC even found it's the #1 breakdown cause in both gas and electric cars. Here's why it's so deadly. A starter motor can pull over 200 amps on a warm day and way more in the cold. Add just 0.01 ohm of resistance from that crusty green fuzz and you instantly drop 2 volts. That tiny loss can turn a strong crank into a dead car. Worse, it forces your alternator to work overtime until it fries itself. Now you're staring at a $700 alternator bill or a $300 starter swap. All because of a clamp worth pennies. The fix. Pathetically easy. Pop the hood, disconnect the negative cable, scrub the posts with a wire brush, then hit the bare metal with WD-40 Specialist Contact Cleaner. It dissolves residue and dries instantly, leaving a clean, conductive surface. Bolt it back together to spec, then seal the deal with a light coat of WD-40 multi-use. That invisible film pushes moisture out, blocks acid vapor, and prevents the blue-white crust from ever forming. Do the math. For less than $10 and 15 minutes of effort, you eliminate the single biggest reason cars die on the road. Stronger starts, steadier charging, zero surprises. Or skip it and risk calling a tow truck at midnight for a failure you could have fixed in 5 minutes.